So welcome back to the channel, and in this video I have another AutoCAD drawing for you. Now this one is going to have a lot of circles and all kinds of other things, but we're going to break this down real easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so before we get started, some things that are kind of really observant to me that I need to figure out is that these lines here, right? So from here to here, you can see that distance is not given, and if you're one of these advanced AutoCAD users or used to looking at drawings, you can spot this right off the bat and say, hey, I know the distance of that. For you new time users or first time looking at drawings here, you can see that I have a radius of 5 here. So that's going to tell me that the distance from here to here is 5, and then going across is another 5. So that just simply says that this thickness here is a distance of 10, right? We can do some other math here, and you can see that this number here in the top left corner here is an extra. And the reason I'm saying that is because we have an overall height here of 100. We have a 70 and we have a 20. So by default, this number has to be 10. We typically don't put that on the drawing because we have to give some kind of tolerance or a place for somebody to be wrong. But in this case, it is double dimension. We're going to leave it there, and that one is totally fine. What I want you to do, and if you don't mind leaving me an answer in the comment, is telling me how far is it from here to here, right? Once again, should be really simple. All of the numbers should be straightforward to you. I'll leave that on for a second. But everything else on here should be easy enough to draw. You can see that I'm missing a distance here. That just means that it's totally in line with this. So that's going to be easy enough to figure out. The distance that we're going down from this point to here is located here. Okay? So everything that we need should be located on this drawing. All right. Let's go ahead and jump over to AutoCAD and create this one. Now, this one shouldn't take us that long, but let's go ahead and get started on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our normal stuff here. We're going to turn the grid off. We'll go ahead and put the ortho on, and then we'll take a look at the running O snaps that I have set up. We're going to first start off by creating a circle with a radius. So I'll click here, make that circle, and we're going to look at the first one, which is going to be 15. Okay. Now I have to create a circle that's located 10 down from this one. So I'm going to go back to circle, center radius. I'm going to go find the center of here, and I want you to touch it. And once you touch it, track off of it. Once you got the green tracking lines and you're facing downward, type in 10, hit enter, and then type in the radius of this one, which will be 20. All right, we have both of those circles drawn. Let's go ahead and do this trimming here, just so we'll knock out this top part, and I'm just going to trim off these two parts. Okay, next we're going to come down a little bit more, so we're going to work now from this center, because we know the distance from this center here down to our next circle, which is at 35. Okay, so I'll go to circle, center radius. I'm going to touch that circle till I find the center. Once I touch it, I'm just going to come off of it. So long as I got those green tracking lines, I'll type in 35, enter. Then I'll type in the radius, which is going to be 5, enter. Okay, so in the intro, I told you that distance going across is 10, right? We can automatically see that this circle has a radius of 5. We don't really have to figure out that number. We can draw lines just from this quadrant going straight up. And I'll do the exact same thing here on the other side. And that's going to give us that distance, right? So we don't have to figure it out or do anything of that nature. The geometry is going to do that for us. Let's go ahead and trim off this portion here. All right. And so now you see that we have basically that top part created. We're going to work ourselves down now to the next circle that's going to be here at the bottom. Give myself a little bit more room. Let's go to circle, center radius. I'm going to go find this center. I'm going to touch it. Once I get the green tracking, I'm going to come down off of it, and I'll type in 35, enter. And I'll type in a radius of 10. I'm going to come back with another circle, center radius, and I'm going to make this circle with the radius of 25. Okay, So now that I have these two numbers, let's go ahead and zoom into this side here. I'm going to start off with the line, and I'm going to click at this quadrant. I'm going to go this direction, a distance of 10. Then we're going to go up a distance of 5. And then we're going to come over this distance, 10. And then we're going to go up another 5. And from this point, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and then I'm just going to go to the tangent of that top part there. So I'll hold down the Shift button and right click, choose tangent, and then I'll tangent to here. Okay. Now at this portion, I'm going to go ahead and draw a line going straight from that end point going over here. Does not matter the distance of it. We're going to come back with a fillet, adjust the radius to 8. Then I'm going to make a fillet between that line there and then this circle. Alright, so let's now work on the other side of this. Start with the line command. I'm going to select that quadrant. I'm going to come down a distance of 20. I'll come here to the right 10. I'll go up 5. Back to the right a distance of 15. Let's go up 5. And then I'm just going to kind of finish this one off just by coming this direction here. Okay. Next, I'll go ahead and complete the line here on this side. I'm just going to draw a line from this end point to this tangent. So I'll hold down the Shift button, do a right click, go to tangent, and go there. Next, I'll use the fillet command. So I'll go to fillet. My radius should automatically be still set to 8. So I'm just going to put a fillet between these two. Alright, now all I have to do is trim off the rest of this. So I'm just going to use the trim command. And I should be able to get away with trimming off a lot of this here at the bottom, as well as here. Okay. So now you can see that we are done with actually drawing the shape. It didn't take us that long. Next, let's go ahead and put a title block around this, and I'm going to use this one doing the standard method. So I'm going to use a rectangle, REC, enter. I'm going to type in 0, 0, enter. And we will use a, let's use a B size. And we're going to make this one also in the portrait mode. So let's make it 11, 17. Okay, let's look at this. Let's do an offset. Give it a distance of 10. I'm sorry, not 10. Let's go back to the offset command. Give it a distance of 0.25. And I'm just going to offset this to the inside. I can go ahead and select both of these. Let's go ahead and select the create. Let's name it title block, so TB. Hit enter. Now this is created. I'm going to select it, do a right click, go to properties. I'm going to set this distance here, or this number, to 10. Let me zoom out and take a look if that's going to fit everything. I'll use the move command. Just put everything on the inside of that. Let's go ahead and turn our ortho off just so I can have some freedom to place this. And I think that should be about enough room on both sides. Okay. All right. So at this point, we have our scale factor. So now I need to adjust the line type scale. So LTS, hit enter. Just going to make that number 10. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and start adjusting our center lines and things of that nature. But I'm going to create a couple of layers first. So I'm just going to go here. And I'm going to create a center layer. And then I'll create one for my dimensions. Okay, so the center one, let's go ahead and make the color of that cyan, color number 4. And then we're going to go ahead and select the line type. Let's go to load. Scroll down to where we find center 2. Looks good to me. Then I'll select it here, hit OK. And then with my dimension layer, I'm just going to make that color number 1 or red. Okay, so I don't have any hidden lines or any things of that nature, so I'm not going to create those layers. Next, I'm going to use a couple of commands here. I'm going to type in center exe, and let's go ahead and give that a distance of 3. And then we're going to use the center layer command and go ahead and specify that on the center. Okay, now we're able to go ahead and put on our center mark. So I'll use a center mark from here, then here, down to here, and then this one here. Okay, looks good enough for me. I do have a small gap here. I can take care of that by using the center line command here, and then that will close that up. All right, so next I'm ready to start setting up my dimensions. So I'll go to my dimension here, and then where it says use current, I'm going to set that to dimension. Let's go ahead and set up our dimension style. I'll select this little arrow here. I'm going to use it on the standard method. So I'll go to modify. And time we're using this standard method, we don't adjust this down here, the annotation scale, right? We're going to use everything standard, which means I'm going to be in control of all of this stuff. So I'll go to my primary units. Let's go ahead and turn off the trailing zeros. Underneath the fit, this number is super important when you're using standard, because this is going to be my scale factor. So I'm going to set this number equal to 10. Underneath the text, we can kind of leave it a little bit high. Let's go ahead and leave it at this number, and if we need to adjust it, we will come back and do that. Underneath our symbols and arrows, let's make this none. And underneath our lines, I will change this extension to 0.125. Okay, let's go ahead and hit OK on this. Standard is my current one, and you can see that here. I can go to close. You can also see the standard is my current one at that location as well. All right, let's start putting some dimensions on here. Let's go with a linear dimension from that endpoint to this one. I'll place it here. Then I'll use the continue option. Next, I'll place my next one at this endpoint here. We're going to come down right to that endpoint. And then we'll go all the way down to this one. Okay, let's zoom into here for a little bit. Let's go ahead and put another dimension from here to here. A few more linear dimensions. Here to here. And I can get quick with the continue one. Go ahead and place my next one there. And right now I'm just going to work on all my linear dimensions. Okay. So I'll go ahead and do my linear dimension from here to this endpoint. Go ahead and use the continue option. All right, now I'm ready for the one on the outside here. So I'm going to use a linear from this endpoint to this endpoint. Let's go ahead and zoom out. It's using continue, and we're going to send this one all the way up to this location here. Let's go ahead and use another linear dimension. Let's go from that endpoint all the way down to the bottom. Okay, I'll add a few more linear dimensions here. So I have a linear dimension to tell me from this endpoint here to this endpoint. Set to 10. And one more linear dimension from this endpoint to here should be at 5. All right, last thing we need to do here is put on a lot of radial dimensions. So let's go to the radial. I'll go ahead and place my first one here. I'm just going to hit the enter button to save us some time. Put one there. Let's go out to here. And I'm just going to kind of, fly through a lot of these. Should be easy enough and simple to create. All right. That should be all of the dimensions that I need. Let me know if you see any ones that I do miss. All right, and this one shouldn't be wasn't a tough one, but hopefully you enjoyed this one. Please, thank you for all the ones who are subscribing and tuning in, and please do leave me that comment at the bottom if you did or was able to calculate the distance from that endpoint to here, going right across, right? But thank you for watching, and until the next video.